Well, hello there, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Soda Review Podcast. I am your host, Julian, and it's been far too long. That's right, folks. I took a little bit of a break from doing the podcast here. Some of that was because I had been doing a separate podcast with my buddy Jason that this here podcast sort of just sprang up. I had kind of been thinking about doing it for some time and never really got around to doing it. So once we started redoing filmographies, I sort of had the desire to just sort of kick this one off, and I did just that. Now, I had been pumping them out at a consistent basis, but I drew it back a little bit. And over the past couple of weeks, really, I mean, I was suffering from shingles a little bit, but beyond that, I just sort of wanted to take a little bit of time to collect myself. You know, my return couldn't have come at a better moment since in Minnesota, it is currently state fair season. And so the soda that I have on the docket for today, coincidentally enough, is State Fair Soda, Kettle Corn flavored. That's right, folks. A Kettle Corn flavored State Fair Soda bottled by Blue Sun Bottling Companies, which also happens to be my go-to purveyor of almost all of the sodas that I drink on this podcast, probably about 97 to 98% of them. So I saw this and I thought, hey, let's have a little bit of fun. Let's be a little bit timely, if you will. And so sitting in front of me is a bottle of the golden colored Kettle Corn flavored State Fair soda. It's in a clear bottle. There is a sticker label on it, which has all sorts of fun little characters and things on it. It appears to be scoops of vanilla ice cream, sort of acting as clouds or maybe it's popcorn. We've got a big top tent and a hot air balloon, which, come to think of it, isn't something that I normally see at a state fair. But then also a more apt staple of really any good state fair, a Ferris wheel. Now, if we turn this over and look at the ingredients here, we have carbonated water, sugar, natural and artificial flavors, citric acid, sodium benzoate, yellow number 5, and caramel color. So I got to admit, I'm not excited by the prospect of drinking a soda that tastes like kettle corn, despite the fact that I do myself happen to enjoy kettle corn and soda for that matter. So, I think what we're going to have to do here is grab the old trusty pop the top and we're going to crack into this son of a gun. Yeah, that's a State Fair Blue Ribbon award-winning pop right there. Decent amount of fizz, decent amount of haze. It's not looking to break the bank, but it's definitely making itself notice. So, giving a cursory sniff of the beverage inside this bottle here, it definitely, if nothing else, smells like butter, which isn't necessarily the first thing I think of when I envision kettle corn, but it's definitely a factor. So without any further ado, I think I'm just going to give this a shot and see what we got. So State Fair Soda, kettle corn flavored, bottoms up. Yeah. That it definitely captures the spirit of kettle corn. It's got a real cream and caramel soda appeal to it, which I'm assuming is where they started with the base, and then just sort of amped it up with whatever artificial butter flavoring that they enlisted. Now, taking a little bit of a aftermath swallow there to clear my mouth of some of the saliva, moving my tongue around a little bit, letting the old taste buds percolate, I am sort of getting a hint of corn as well, which is kind of surprising considering they went with sugar as opposed to corn syrup, which in hindsight probably would have been the obvious route to take. But you got to commend Blue Sun for not taking the easy route out. So at the end of the day, I do not like this soda. I would never drink it, given the option of my own volition, obviously outside of the parameters of a soda review podcast. I'm not looking forward to a second round. However, I am going to partake in one, as is the code of the soda review chapter that I follow, at least. I am stalling a little bit, but you know what? I think I'm just going to have to go ahead and bite the bullet on this one. So we're going to go in for one more round, and then we're going to settle up. Yeah, I got to say, I commend them for mimicking kettle corn to the best of one's ability when we're talking about a soda beverage. That being said, it is absolutely awful, borderline putrid. And actually, that second round, not sitting too well with the constitution of my gullet. So I think I'm going to call it there. I'd like to thank you all for joining me on another episode of the Soda Review Podcast. I've been your host, Julian, signing off.